When you think about bodybuilding, you're thinking confidence, respect, attention. However, for most folks, myself included, it can be the opposite. Bodybuilding was originally meant to support performance, health, and longevity. Over time, the sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it, took a complete 180. Today, health isn't a concern. People are more worried about their image. I know it because I lived it. I trained seriously for about 3 years, trying to craft a perfect physique while being a natty. And I made a lot of gains, but it was never satisfying. Every time I opened social media, there'd be someone leaner, bigger, or further ahead. Instead of being proud of all the effort that I put in, I could only focus on what I lacked. Not too long ago, I realized lifting was never the problem. The unrealistic expectations were the problem. And the expectations are almost everywhere. Social media, anime, movies, you almost can't escape it. And the thing with lifting is it's supposed to be an activity that you do to burn off some steam, not worrying about,
my latimus dorsi isn't as big as that guy on YouTube.
Whether you like it or not, there will always be someone out there better than you at something. Just like there's someone out there with a faster car, bigger house, cooler haircut.
Oh yeah, what's up?
So comparing yourself to others is futile. When you compare yourself to others, you're almost living a life that isn't even yours. And at a certain point, lifting stops becoming a hobby and becomes your identity. The more muscle you stack on, the more flaws you start to notice. What began as a self-improvement hobby mutates into insecurity disguised as discipline. Lifting was my first self-improvement activity. Once I started lifting, it led to other self-improvement strategies. But every workout starts to feel like an exam, and taking a rest day feels pathetic. It feels like you're behind, just by giving your body what it needs, which is rest, when your muscles actually build up the most. But it's because you're aware that someone, somewhere, is ahead of you. But let me ask you this. If you were the last person alive on Earth, would you still care as much about your physique? And would you still feel the need to compare yourself to others? If the answer is no, definitely need to reconsider the reason why you lift. If your confidence relies on appearance, you will never be content, because looks will fade. Aging is inevitable. Even the greatest physiques fade. Look at Ronnie Coleman. Man could squat 800 pounds, but even that couldn't stop time. But lift because you love it. Lift because you love moving some big weight, not to look pretty in the mirror. And trust me, I spent years trying to look pretty, and lifting slowly felt empty. Started to feel like a chore. And not too long ago, I started doing jiu-jitsu and my purpose shifted. I realized performance is a lot more important than how I look in the mirror. And once I stopped caring so much about how I looked, I actually started liking how I looked. I could appreciate my physique that I spent so long working on, versus being a perfectionist and criticizing every little flaw that I have. Because you're not gonna be perfect, nobody is. And that's what worked for my journey. Yours might look different, and that's fine. Sometimes the mental pressure can be too much for some. That pressure builds up slowly over time, and eventually steroids felt like the only way out. Consistent comparison of enhanced lifters makes natural progress almost feel embarrassing. And enhanced physiques have become the standard. When you think of bodybuilding, who do you think of? You're thinking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman. And for some, the fear of embarrassment outweighed the concerns for long-term health. The embarrassment of not having enough respect, people thinking you're small, weak. And it's not just steroids either, but peptides too. Steroids are like a shotgun, and peptides are more like a pistol. Less forceful, but still a threat. And the problem is many peptides are relatively new, which means there's not enough solid long-term research on their safety. And unfortunately, by the time long-term research does come out, it'll be too late for some folks. And there are some peptides out there that increase IGF-1 signaling, a growth pathway that's been strongly linked to cancer progression when chronically elevated. But regardless of peptides or steroids, they still come with risks. At some point, we have to decide if that's the risk that we're willing to take just to look better. And is it really worth intentionally risking your health just to look better? The thing is, you can look good without even enhancing yourself. Have the best of both worlds, look good and being healthy. I've seen a lot of guys with really good physiques even consider taking steroids, and I'm like, dude, you don't even need to take steroids. You already are a steroid. And that's why taking steroids, in my opinion, is pointless, but we all have our opinion. And listen, I'm not anti-lifting or tell anybody how they should train or even do to their bodies. You can do whatever you want with your body. It's your free will. However, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I just want what's supposed to be a healthy activity return back to its glory, not cost people their peace of mind and even their lives.